Che cos'è il COPD Index? Un indice che riguarda la broncopneumopatia cronico-ostruttiva che è stato presentato qui a Vienna a margine del Congresso dell'ERS. Questo indice è stato messo a punto dal Copenhagen Institute for Future Studies e noi ne parliamo con Patrick Gallen, che ha avuto un ruolo di primo piano nella messa a punto di quest'indice, che è stato supportato da Sanofi e da Regeneron. Patrick, first of all, what is exactly the COPD index? Do you have a definition?
Absolutely, yes. So the COPD index is a data tool for analyzing how 34 countries' healthcare systems approach the prevention, diagnosis, and management of COPD across a wide range of parameters. So we have 45 unique indicators that are looking at a lot of different aspects, not just clinical indicators around COPD, but population health indicators, environmental factors, so looking at things like environmental and occupational risks. We're looking at policy, I think, which is also very important. So trying to get in these elements of equity and how it's being prioritized in the political domain as well was very important to us in this work.
And which is the scope of this incredible amount of work that you did?
Yeah. So, as I said, scope-wise, we're looking at 45 indicators, unique assessments across 34 countries. We have an ambition to go broader with this as well. We, of course, want to, when we have better data availability, ideally in the future. We also are, as I've noted, trying to track results or gather results across different categories, right? So looking at things like environmental factors, looking at things like policy also. This includes slightly over 1,500 data points that we work to build the tool as well.
You have looked also to the way patients are treated.
Well, to some extent, yes. So we're looking at indicators that can give an idea of access to the system and equity in this way, right? So we're not taking in testimonial or testimony from patients themselves, but using indicators that can give us an idea of how it is to access the system, what the diagnostic experience is, what care pathways look like as well, and what barriers that might exist to diagnosis, to care, and to management, both in terms of system-oriented barriers, so policy, but also financial barriers as well.
And it has been an independent work of the Copenhagen Institute for Future Studies?
That is correct, yes. So we received unrestricted support from Sanofi and Regeneron to help fund the work under the Respiratory Health Initiative, which is something that we at the Copenhagen Institute run, and it is the Copenhagen Institute that has independently gathered, collected, and analyzed all of that data without any funder involvement in this aspect of the work. It's also very important to note that while we are the ones that built the index at the Copenhagen Institute, it has also been guided by our independent steering committee of 8 experts from around the world that work in different aspects of respiratory and COPD care, as well as health economics and health policy implementation.
One of the main interesting things is that you have given a global approach to this problem, but also you go inside of each country by country to see what happens, for example, in Italy. Why you did this work?
Absolutely. So we don't just want to work with overall results, right? This can be interesting to have some broad figures on things, but I think the real value is being able to dig into that country level and find some of the granular differences, which helps us to identify not only areas for improvement, but ideally also some best practices. So we want to get into that individual indicator level to identify what the opportunities and the challenges are, as well as those good and ideally best practices that we can use to help transfer knowledge from system to system as well.
And now the work is finished, or is just the beginning of a story?
Yeah, it is absolutely not finished. I think it is the beginning of a story. We want to work with this long term. This is the first edition of the COPD Index. We have a strong belief that we can always improve the work, right? We know that there are limitations to tools like this. It provides an abstract model, and so I look forward to next year and the following year, where we can ideally gather more data, better data from more countries to include them into the index and make something that's even more robust. On the other side, it's not just about building the tool. If anything, the most important thing is using this information at the country level. We would like to have meetings with the key stakeholders in each of these countries, patients, their advocates, political decision makers and clinicians, among others, to discuss this in depth, challenge the information, collect additional information, and determine how we can use it actively to improve the situation at the country level as well.